Community safety, the focus of a local forum. Marcus Palowski weighs in on the pulp and paper mill sale. And there's a new millionaire in Thunder Bay. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley McManus. The safety and well-being of people in Thunder Bay is a focus of a community forum which began this morning. Service providers and community partners have gathered for the two-day event to find ways to make Thunder Bay safer. Jess Clement has the details.
100 community partners and service providers from different sectors gathered at the Prince Arthur Hotel to determine the best ways to work together to improve the safety and well-being of those in the community. Leanne Chevrette, Community Safety and Wellbeing Specialist, says the group is focusing on the 7 priority areas of the CSWB plan, which includes topics such as anti-racism and discrimination, housing and homelessness, and community violence.
We have some very pressing social and safety and well-being issues in our community, and so this is the best way to bring people together. The diversity of thought and expertise and context, I think, is really important. So we've also included a number of people, quite a large number of people with lived and living experience, and those voices are really critical to this conversation. So
a number of keynote speakers, discussion panels, and presentations were showcased at the event and featured voices and ideas from a number of individuals in the community with varying backgrounds. This allowed the forum to have different points of views about issues in the community. Panelist Jace Watford says these are important conversations to have.
As a person who has lived homeless and then is no longer homeless, and then I'm working towards getting rid of homelessness, that's just one portion of the social determinants of health, but it's important for me to be able to talk, and it's nice to be able to have such a receptive audience listen.
While the first day of the forum brought together community partners and service providers, CSWB Chair Jeff Upton says the second day of the forum will focus on community learning and engagement. 50 members of the public will be attending the event to speak about their issues and concerns and determine actions that need to take place.
We need to hear from the people of this community directly so that they can have their identify what the issues are, and so that we can start to work towards solutions. So the purpose of the forum, two-day forum, is to try to move learning forward, but also to engage the community as we move forward together.
The forum will continue on Saturday from 10 to 3 p.m. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Thunder Bay police have arrested 2 people and seized a significant amount of cocaine worth nearly $200,000. The police intelligence unit, with help from the Bear units, executed multiple search warrants yesterday afternoon. One of those was at a business in the 100 block of Algoma Street South, where a 34-year-old man from the GTA and a 15-year-old Thunder Bay boy were taken into custody. Along with cocaine, police seized about $50,000 in cash. Officers then executed a second search warrant at a residence in the 200 block of Bay Street, which resulted in the seizure of more cocaine, bullets, drug trafficking items, and a luxury watch valued at $85,000. The adult accused remains in custody while the youth was released with conditions and a future court date. Yesterday's big announcement that the Thunder Bay pulp and paper mill will be sold raised many questions and concerns in the community. That includes from local MP Marcus Palowski. He quickly contacted officials with Resolute Forest Products, who he says provided some peace of mind. There's no indication any potential buyers are in place, but tours are expected over the next weeks and months for interested parties. Palowski was concerned initially about the mill's future when he heard the news, but says discussions with company officials made him more comfortable with the sale.
Really is a world-class facility. It's profitable. The market for pulp especially is very good at the moment, and that it will be sold. There will be a buyer, and if it was someone I knew or I worked in the mill, I'd be concerned about it too. But I think the reality is the future still looks pretty good for the mill.
The sale of the mill is contingent on Paper Excellence and its subsidiary Domtar finalizing a purchase of Resolute in the first half of 2023. It's been 4 days now since Ken Boskoff was elected as Thunder Bay's mayor for a second time around, and he says it's been a whirlwind of activity and discussions ever since. Boskoff secured a narrow victory on Monday night, beating out Gary Mack and 3 other candidates for the mayor's chair. Boskoff previously served as mayor from 1997 until 2003, and more recently served as an at-large councillor from 2010 to 2014. He spent the past few days meeting with city councillors and outgoing Mayor Bill Morrow, and he's been getting many calls from people looking to hear what direction he plans to take.
It has been basically 20-hour days because of the number of calls, mostly congratulatory, but a whole series of issues backlogged, citizens with their concerns. So people know that I return my calls, so it's it's been a busy few days.
Boskoff and the new city council officially take over on November 15th. Meanwhile, one of Boskoff's council colleagues the last time he was mayor has passed away. Ed Metzler died on Election Day Monday. Metzler served as an alderman and then city councillor for the West Fort Ward from 1988 until 2003. He won 5 straight elections and retired undefeated. He also had a long career in the trucking industry and served as president of the Ontario Good Roads Association. A funeral service is scheduled for next Thursday with visitation the evening before. Ed Metzler was 90 years old. New stats on immigration show Thunder Bay is bucking national and provincial trends. The 2021 census showed the proportion of immigrants in Canada at nearly 1 in 4, surpassing the record set in 1921. But in Thunder Bay, there are actually fewer immigrants than in 2016. The total number of immigrants living in Thunder Bay has decreased by just over 500 since the last census. However, the number of new immigrants, people who obtained a landed immigrant or permanent resident status in the past 5 years, has increased to 1,095 people this census, compared to 695 in the previous one. More than half of immigrants currently living here immigrated before 1980, and that ever-aging population may explain the overall decrease. More than half of immigrants living here were born in Europe, with 22.6% coming from Asia and smaller numbers from elsewhere around the globe. Federal Minister Patty Hajdu says the numbers show it's important to keep up the work of programs like the Northern Immigration Pilot.
It is critically important in providing the region with the economic support, the financial support, the structural support to be able to attract and retain people in the region. But I will also say that it's not only doable by governments, that it's actually communities that keep people. It's really about making sure that our communities are welcoming to newcomers.
Hajdu also points out the role of schools in attracting non-permanent residents. And indeed, while the number of immigrants has declined, the number of non-permanent residents here has increased sharply, more than doubling since 2016, to represent over 2% of the total population. It was a record-breaking year for the Easter Seals Celebrity Hockey Challenge. Today's event at Thunder Bay's Tournament Centre raised more than $200,000 to support children with accessibility needs. And the main attraction, once again, was the former NHLers, including Stanley Cup winner and Leafs legend Doug Gilmour. Vasilios Bellos has the story.
The Easter Seals Celebrity Hockey Challenge is always an exciting event, even more so this year, raising a record $205,000. That incredible total will help allow Easter Seals to send children with physical disabilities to an accessible camp where they can have the experience like any other kid. Of course, one of the big draws for all these local beer leaguers is the chance to play with former NHL stars at the event, or be coached by a Hall of Famer. Doug Gilmour says he just can't lace them up anymore, so instead, he was behind the bench for some of the games in the Celebrity Hockey Tournament. Gilmour says this is a cause that he and many other former players love to get involved with.
Well, we do a lot of stuff, the alumni, and with Easter Seals. We got the Lindros tournament in Oshawa. We got Brad May in Oakville, Rick Five in Kitchener, and kind of the list goes on. So it's a great charity, and congratulations to Thunder Bay for raising over $200,000, and that's pretty amazing for a small group.
Longtime event participant Mike Krushelinski, who was famously part of that deal that sent Wayne Gretzky from Edmonton to LA, hit the ice once again this year. He says the credit for the event's success should go to all the organizers.
literally we don't do anything, just go in there and entertain. But the people that run the organization and come up here and get there early, and Jeff, who and the kids, Jackson Events, all of them, they do all the work behind the scenes.
And for Rhonda Harrison with Easter Seals, the more than $200,000 raised is an amazing accomplishment.
Just double what we did in the past, and we are just extremely grateful from the community, all the supporters. We had some new faces at the dinner last night, and we had a lot of fun.
It was another successful Celebrity Hockey Classic here in Thunder Bay, with that record-breaking $205,000 raised. And while everyone involved was excited to have some amazing ex-NHLers in town, the best part of the event was knowing that money raised will be put to good use, allowing Easter Seals to continue to support children with disabilities. Vasilios Pellos, TBT News.
A Thunder Bay woman is the newest winner of the Lotto 649 Gold Ball Draw, taking home just a little over $1 million. Sherry Daniels plays the lottery weekly, and this is her first big win. She says she always plays her own numbers, and each one always has a special meaning, like a birthday or anniversary. Daniels says she's still in disbelief and plans to pay off some bills and save for retirement. The winning ticket was purchased on the OLG website. Meanwhile, another area resident is $500,000 richer today. Rebecca Ma from Kaministiquia is the Regional Hospital Foundation's newest 50-50 winner for the month of October. CEO Glenn Craig gave her the exciting call earlier today.
Did you buy tickets in the Thunder Bay 50-50 this month?
I did.
What would you say if I told you you are now $532 richer? Just over $500,000.
That's crazy. My heart's just beating. How much did I win?
$519,532. Just over $500,000.
I won that?
You won that.
My boyfriend was just like, you need to buy these tickets now, and so I did. Like literally just the other day. And they've been finding dimes all over the house this week. Apparently he had a dream a while ago. He was told he was going to win the lottery, but
Tickets are already on sale for next month's 50-50, with the draw date set for November 25th. To date, $14 million in prizes have been awarded, with an equal amount going towards vital and medical equipment at Thunder Bay Regional and at smaller hospitals around the Northwest. Well, Fiona, those are some two lucky ladies, but I feel us in Thunder Bay got pretty lucky today with the weather.
Oh, we certainly did. Normally at this time of year, we should see daytime highs about 7. We had a low of 7 overnight and warmed up to 15 Celsius. That's with a lot of sunshine, just a few clouds here and there. It was a bit gusty. It was from the southwest, 19 to 41 kilometers per hour, so a little bit blowy. But all in all, when you've got 15 Celsius at the end of October, you're just smooth sailing. And if we head westward to Fort Frances, they actually topped out with a high of 17 this afternoon. They're pretty close to it right now at 16, loads of sunshine, 15 in Atikokan and Dryden. Kenora is a little cooler at 12, as is Red Lake. Sioux Lookout currently at 13 Celsius. Eastward into Armstrong, there at 16, 13 in Greenstone with lots of sunshine. Marathon, definitely one of the cool spots in the region. They're just at 7 Celsius because of the wind off the lake. And Sault Ste. Marie, under partly cloudy skies, is currently at 10 Celsius. Now, tonight, it's going to be another mild one. A low of 4 is expected under partly cloudy skies. And if you're liking the conditions that we have both day and night right now, well, you're going to be happy to hear we're going to repeat it again and again and again and again and possibly again. I'll have more details later on in the news hour.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Fiona. Well, now more on the Emergencies Act hearing. Today, Ottawa's former police chief spoke. We'll have those details and more for you when we come back.
There's no doubt that we could have done some things better.